The Binding of Isaac Repentance released on 31st March 2021. It's been almost 2 years since its release, and as we can expect, most of the players have burnt out on this game, or at least have experienced most of what the game has to offer. Hermano, if you're one of those people, I'm about to open your eyes and show you just how much more you can get out of the game. I'm about to show you the insanity of modded Isaac. What up pimps and welcome to Thug Rated, and today I'm going to be going through the best mods on the Steam Workshop and showcasing just how far the modders have come with this game. And to make this a little bit more interesting, to add a little bit more spice into the mix, I'm going to be ranging them from a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being an okay quality of life mod, still good but nothing sort of fantastic, to 10 being absolutely fucking insane and better than most AAA game DLCs and expansions. So without any further ado, let's begin, shall we? Level 1. First up is Hanging Dreamcatcher. One of the most commonly found items in this game is called Dreamcatcher, where during the floor transition, Isaac can see what the next floor's item room has and what boss he's about to fight. Or at least that is what it would do, but Isaac being a roguelike which you play hundreds of runs in, players just almost have the bad habit of just smashing spacebar and just skipping this item's effect entirely. Well, not anymore, because with this mod, this little thing will always remind you after a boss has been defeated that hey, you have this item that actually has effects. You might want to check it out. Level 2. Now, arcades are one of the most underrated rooms in the Binding of Isaac, where most people just ignore it or don't even try to min-max it properly. Like legit, if you have some cash on hand, you can go in with 1 cent and come out with hundreds worth of stuff. But most people just ignore it and move on. And I can understand. The major complaint of arcades is it simply takes too much time, man. 2 seconds of animation every time you play a shell game beggar or a slot machine. Like bruh, I'm trying to gamble away my life savings. So if you want to speed this shit up to actually be in time for boss rush, Time Machine mod makes the repeated use of beggars and machines faster. Like it makes them work like the donation machines. So it's way more fun to use. Fast animations on the other hand makes the use of books, cards and the ugly ass mom active items fast as fuck and more snappy to use. And lastly, Good Trip. Are you tired of constantly walking between rooms and wish there was a fast travel in Isaac? Good Trip mod is awesome for that. Now some of the piss babies in the comments, which you refer to as kids, are going to be like,
that's cheating. Skill issue.
first of all, you can shove your skill issue up your ass. Like, if you want to run around the floor instead of actually doing it IRL to lose some weight, you fat fucking lard, good for you. But besides that, the mod creator actually put some thought into the mod. Like, you can't just use it to teleport out of a curse room to avoid damage. You still take damage if you teleport out or into a curse room. You can't just use it in rooms with enemies in it. Like, you can't just vamoose away from there. It is strictly there to save time. And to avoid dying in stupid ways to a random devil game beggar when playing the Lost. I fucking hate that mechanic. Jesus Christ, who put this guy in the mirror room over here? Level 3. Now, this lands on the more goofy and just for the fun side of modding, You know the fun side of modding where in Skyrim, you know this epic RPG where you are supposed to be immersed, you just add a fucking Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, we are talking about that part of the modding community. Let me just tell you, the Specialist Dance mod is exceptionally well made. I have no fucking idea how much time the dev actually spent on this, the mod developer. But this makes your character dance. You find a good item, Isaac just dances. Just making the dopamine hit from finding the run winner item, finding the tech X, that much more potent and satisfying. And there's an animation for every single character in the base game. And since this is so well made, it has become pretty much a staple for any Isaac YouTuber on the platform. If you are an Isaac YouTuber and if you don't have it, it is a fucking sin and you are getting arrested, my friend. Level 4. Now, Binding of Isaac Repentance DLC, spoiler alerts, which, I mean, come on, if you have played the game for so long, you already know this, brought 19 new characters into the game, which played new and unique ways while still pertaining to the originals. But as we progress in the game and try to get check marks for some of them at least, they become a hassle to play. Oh my god, man. trying to get the checkmarks for tainted loss is like scrubbing your own ass on a cheese grater. It is not fun. Unless you are a literal god or if you are a masochist, I'm not sure if that's fun. So yeah, if you are looking for something more than the vanilla characters, the Steam Workshop is the way to go. The top choices being May and Bertrand. May is a unique character. She has a special way of actually firing tears, where she doesn't fire it from her mouth, but they just revolve around her, which opens the door to great new tier synergies. And they also look pretty good visually. So obviously it makes sense her being the most subscribed character mod on the workshop. Definitely worth a try. But on the other hand, we have Bertrand. This dude is fucking awesome. Being one of the rare melee characters, he bashes his head into enemies, which is satisfying in and of itself. That feedback, chef's kiss. The amount of care and effort that has been put into his synergies and just how he interacts with the items in base game makes him just feel like he's just an official part of the game, man. He's definitely my favorite modded character. Wait, why do I hear Eurobeat? Step aside, motherfuckers, the car is here. Level 5. Well, oh yeah, mods. Fun fact, the new Binding of Isaac Repentance DLC was originally a mod. Yeah, you heard me. Anti-Birth was initially a mod for Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and it was so fucking good. It was even better than the actual DLC made for Rebirth, being Afterbirth. Anti-Birth's success is literally a dream come true. Being a modder, like having your game literally be a DLC for the game you worked on, it's awesome. And one undeniable reason for that is its music. Anti-Birth's music is phenomenal, man. Just have a taste. Mudet is a goddamn musical genius. No matter what the mood, no matter what soundtrack of this mod you click on, it is amazing. So much so that I unironically have all of them downloaded in my personal playlist of downloaded songs. So if you have not installed this mod yet, do it, man. You won't regret it a single bit. Literally every single track in this mod is a classic. It's a banger. Level 6. Now, Binding of Isaac has items. A lot of items. So whether you are a new player or not, keeping track of what the 700 plus items can do can be quite bothersome. But not anymore. With the external descriptions mod, you can easily learn what an item does. This is literally like a Pokédex for Binding of Isaac items. You can know what its item quality is, how many of them you need to get a transformation, anything that you could ever ask for, man. External item description mod and encyclopedia both work for modded items, which is even more crazier considering how many item mods there are in the game. Level 7. Speaking of modded items, you want them? There are a lot of great mods that do just that. The collection mods, the retribution mod, and the deliverance mod add some great new items to the game, with deliverance even adding some new enemies and rooms. But my favorite of them has to be Repentance Plus. Simply because it adds a whole new layer of unlocks to your tainted characters. You know, in the base game, certain achievements like beating Mom's Heart or Blue Baby or Satan with tainted characters yielded no real reward. Like literally, I could bust my ass, play Tainted Lost and get all the way to beating Satan, but I would literally get no reward. That is, unless I have this mod. Now there are over 100 plus new unlocks, including new items, trinkets, cards, spells, cards, and chests into the game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit biased when it comes to this mod, because I was there in the Discord server, I was there in the making of history, throwing my ideas with the fellas, abusing the bugs, giving the devs brain rot. Bro, they literally banned the word anime because of my existence. I feel so fucking proud. Level 8. Speaking of mods that completely changed the gameplay, Thieving Machine. Do you like familiars? These cute little adorable familiars which are mostly dumb and useless. Looking at you, brother Bobby. Seriously, man, where do you even come from? Are you adopted? They don't really have a huge impact on your run. You just pick them up and forget about them. That is until now. The Thieving Machine mod adds a of course, saving machine to the shop, with which you can just pay 10 cents and upgrade your familiars. Now you are like, okay, so you might give them more damage, maybe a bit more fire rate. Why is this mod so high up in the list? Let me just tell you, the upgrades are fucking genius. Now they aren't overpowered by any means. For 10 cents you are getting your money's worth and maybe a bit more. But if you play like a dumbass, you will still die like a dumbass. These upgraded familiars are not run winners by any means. But they do spice up the gameplay in such a cool way. Check this out, I can even upgrade a fucking bomb sack. It leaves behind a trail, I can explode it and light shit on fire. Little Dumpy changes every room and has its own new variants. This was not existing in the base game, even though it feels like it should. Q baby now has a freezing aura, so you can, instead of kicking the baby around, you can just leave it there and it will freeze the enemies. And all of this even fits into the game story as well. Isaac is a child and children are fucking dumb and retarded, so they always break their toys and dolls. So, just canonically, Isaac can just stitch them up, making them look even more badass. A bit more creepy, but they look cool. If Edmund decides to go on another spree of adding mods to the actual game like booster packs, Sewing Machine is no doubt a worthy candidate for it. Level 8.1. So I was initially going to put this in the honorable mentions, but then I looked at the script like, what the fuck was I smoking? So for 7.1 we have Epiphany mod. You know how I mentioned earlier that Repentance added a new set of characters? This basically doubled the game's time to beat in terms of content and blew away people's minds, bro. Literally, I was there in the stream watching Tear of Grace when he first discovered it, and I was like, holy Jesus. Like, Repentance initially was just going to be Antibirth ported over to like the official game, but they just went so deep with that. So this obviously led modders to think, what if we went deeper? This mod, if you could even call them that at this point, adds a third layer of the post-it note, a third layer of tarnished characters. Now this mod isn't complete, let me just throw that out there, but that's exactly what scares me. Currently in the mod you can play as tarnished Isaac, Maggie, Cain, Judas, Eden and Keeper. But you have to understand, right? Adding a character in itself is hard. Thinking of a way to make them fun to play and designing them to look good is hard. Making unlocks for a single character deserves praise, but nah, these fucking mad lads added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, each with their own unique playstyles and unlocks. And you don't even get these characters for free. Nah. Obviously, you can just cheat your way in to get them, but each of them have their own special way of unlocking. I don't want to go into what these characters do because A, that would be telling, and I don't do spoilers. And B, this video will literally be 2 hours fucking long, and I'm not joking about that. If you want to know how they work, I have linked some videos down in the comments. I have linked some videos down in the description. All of these mods that I'm mentioning, I will just leave a video showcasing all of them down in the description made by SlayXC2, so you guys can check that out. Level 9. What if you had the power to change every aspect over the game? What if with just one menu, you could flip the game's entire design upside down? Well, that, my friends, is the rules. With the rules, you can modify almost every part of the game that isn't hard-coded. You can do like basic stuff like turning every single item into Brother Bobby. Yay, mom, look, I finally have friends. But that's just the start, bro. You can make it so every enemy is disguised as Spider. Alright, Delirium, bring it on. You won't survive this, motherfucker. Oh shit, I forgot he was just disguised as a spider, even though he's still a dickhead. You can make it so every time you get hit, you activate a fucking nuke. If you just want to roleplay as Osama Bindu, you can make it so every 60 seconds you get a brand new item and become overpowered. The rules have a shit ton of potential when it comes to detailed challenges and custom runs. So if you're creative and spend a decent amount of time messing around with it, you could come up with something truly insane. But who wants to do that? The rules is cool and all, but if you want to experience something truly insane that's already been made, mods that are so good in quality that they even put AAA game DLCs and expansions to shame. Level 10. Alright, deep breaths. Where the fuck do I even begin? My friends, with great pleasure, I welcome you to level 10, Fiend Folio. You know what? To make things simpler for you and for me to put things into perspective, let's compare Fiend Folio to Repentance. Makes sense considering both of them were initially a mod. The main feature of Repentance and Antibirth was that it brought a whole new alternate path to the game, which means it also brought with it 25 new bosses and 100 new enemies to accompany this alt path. Fiend Folio does not add an extra alt path, because I don't know, that would frankly be too easy. Instead, it basically redesigns all the fucking floors in Repentance, including the previously mentioned alt path. with 23 new bosses with sick ass animations, attack patterns, and even some with their own little personalities. I mean, Repentance has bosses who act like goofy or they straight up want to murder you. And also Siren, she has a good personality tease. But the bosses in Fiend Folio range from cute to badass to weird to downright fucking horrifying. They have their own little personalities, you know. And they even added custom forms to already existing bosses. And when it comes to enemy variety, Fiend Folio just brings down the fucking hammer and demolishes Repentance. With 5 times the amount of enemies added, man. 500 new enemies. Now I can understand your concerns. Like, hey, if they added so many enemies, it should be like reused ideas, right? They just bloat the game like Ubisoft maps. Oh boy, let me tell you, Fiend Folio's enemies are fantastic. Not only are they vast in quality, also in quantity. There's a channel, right, called Slakesy2, which shoutouts to you, man, you are fantastic, who made 22 goddamn videos just showcasing all the new stuff they have added in terms of enemies. Now, these aren't like 2-minute videos for TikTok shorts. They are regular sized 8 to 12 minute full length videos. And you know, this guy isn't like milking the series at any point. He's just trying to get to the point and keep concise with his videos. But there's just so many little things about this Fiend Folio enemies, about how they interact. It just breathes a new life into the game. And whilst they may not 100% fit into the game's theme, looking at you, Amogus, they never overwhelm you with new content. And while it might take some time getting used to how they work, and you will die a ton of times, and you will be absolutely fucking enraged. But that's just a part of the experience. That's just a part of the roguelike. Learning how to play the game again like a level 0 noob, it is fun. It is actually really fun. Fiend Folio just feels like Isaac too. Oh yeah, and by the way, that's just the enemies and bosses, which is like 40% of the mod, taking my bad math into account. This mod adds over 140 new items and 50 trinkets also, which, come on, I can't get through each one of them to tell you whether they are balanced or not. We will literally be here all day. So I'm gonna leave this one to you guys. Download the mod, play the fucking game, tell me what's your favorite modded items down in the comments. Let the algorithm send this to every motherfucker on the planet. Oh yeah, also they have added rocks. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you. Fiend Folio adds 2 new characters. One of which, Fiend, you know he's a pretty straightforward guy and he's decent to play. But the other one, Golem. This motherfucker is made with so much detail that he might as well be his own little game mode in Isaac. To summarize, he doesn't find trinkets. He finds items but no trinkets. Instead, he finds rocks, which basically functions as trinkets, but in order to carry more rocks, he gets to have an entire underground hub area in Isaac that connects the entire floor, where you can sculpt rocks to gain their effects, kind of like smelting them, trade them for health, reroll them, and there are over 100 rocks just made for this one character. That's right, they just went ahead and designed 100 trinkets just for one character. Are you fucking nuts? I don't know, they might be at this point. So yeah, where were we? Comparing Fiend Folio to Repentance? Alright, so let me tell you this. Repentance adds 5000 new room layouts, right? You know, with the art path being a thing, I want you to just sit down and take a guess how many rooms Fiend Folio has added. No. Pause the video, I'll just give you some time. I'll just let you guess. Maybe leave a comment right now. Maybe like 5000, just like Repentance. Maybe 10,000. But nah. That might be asking a bit too much. 10,000 new rooms might be a bit too much. 48,000. 48,000 fucking rooms divided consistently between all of the existing floors. This is the epitome of Isaac modding. A mod so good that it outclasses Edmund's final Isaac DLC in terms of quantity, while still preserving a great amount of quality. This is it, I guess. I mean, how do you even compete with this, man? Maybe you can't. Or maybe there is something else out there. Something that doesn't need to compete. Maybe there's a mod out there which I and many people have forgotten about. Level 10.1. Now, not to take the limelight away from Fiend Folio, they have done the best they can and pushed the game to its absolute fucking limits. And all the time and effort is crystal clear when you play the mod. They absolutely deserve any praise they get. But I want to shine some light over on Revelations as well. A mod, although just like Fiend Folio, has been in the works for many years now and is just as amazing considering the much smaller scale of developers working on it. This mod is absolute heat or cold. Antibirth was the first mod to set the bar really high for new custom floors in Isaac. And Revelations goes head to head with that, maybe even better than that. The new Glacier and Tomb floors are gorgeous to look at. The sprite work here is amazing. And they're even better to play on. These floors are not just new redesigns, they aren't just pretty looking sprites. They have their own special unique mechanics and feel to them, making them feel like a truly different from the main game. Like this, straight up, it feels like Isaac 2. Glacier has this chilling atmosphere which freezes you and has slippery ice. Meanwhile, the tomb floor is packed to the brim with fucking traps. You take one wrong step and you just summon fucking monster on your face. Maybe that doesn't happen. I have not played. I have not played the game enough. Listen, every time I play with this mod, I just die on Glacier 1. The mod is very fucking hard, but it's also very fucking well made. So I don't really make it to Tomb that far. So yeah, I just keep dying. And both of them stick close to the themes of Isaac very well, with having more than 80 new enemies. And while Fiend Folio's designs are wacky and great looking, with Revelations you feel much more at home of Vanilla Isaac. And there's no shortage of fun bosses too. There are 17 new bosses added with even some really exuberant mini bosses which you can just randomly encounter and have a blast with. There are 61 new items, including a goddamn flamethrower, which just sounds fantastic. I haven't really gotten that item yet, but yeah, you can try it out. And 2 new characters, which is also pretty cool, especially Dante and Sharon. Now take note, Finn, the developer of Repentance. This is how you add 2-in-1 characters to the game without making me feel like I want to stub my toe into the nearest hydraulic press.